good. Yeah, check us out on YouTube. Check out our videos that we already have posted up there, and keep promoting East Sense of Yoga. Thank you. Let's start over again. So everybody in a nice, comfy seated position. Okay. Honestly, I think for beginners even, sitting is probably the hardest posture for anybody. Us just learning to sit correctly, to sit properly. So what we see that we think maybe is, you know, this yogi seat may not be comfortable for us. So feel free to bring your legs out in front of you, to use pillows, to use blankets to prop yourself up. But the point of coming to this posture before we get started is really just to kind of connect and ground yourself. So you want to be comfortable. We don't want the focus on, oh, you know, I'm leaning left or right. You really just want to be comfortable here. So I want everybody to get themselves comfortable to where you're not thinking about, you know, tension in the legs or anywhere, and just begin to relax. Relax into that comfortable seat. At the same time, begin to draw the energy up from the earth, okay? So draw the spine up nice and long, all the way up to the shoulders. Even begin to pull the shoulders up by the ears and then relax the shoulders down the back. Rest the hands gently on the thighs, palms facing up. Today we'll palms face up to really receive some good energy. So now begin to take it a little bit deeper. Take that focus away from the seat and the posture, the nice strong posture, and begin to draw it all inwards. So begin to draw all that attention right there to the center of the chest, all that focus right there to the center of the chest. And begin to deepen the breath. So that nice, strong, seated posture, really growing up from the earth. And begin to deepen the breath. And keep all of the attention right there on the breath. So when the mind starts to flutter away, just bring it back. And that becomes the practice. When the mind flutters away, bring it back. So throughout your practice, we'll keep returning to that portion of the practice. If your mind starts to flutter away or you say, I'm uncomfortable, you kind of bring it right back to the breath. So deep inhales in through the nose and out through the nose. And go ahead and set an intention for your practice today. Maybe set an intention for the rest of your day. Mine, I have to keep reminding myself, especially right now with everything going on, is just to kind of go with the flow. Kind of receive what's happening, take it in, observe it, and just roll with it. It could be a hard thing to do. So even in yoga, even in the posture, so we challenge ourselves with these postures, make it the best that you can and roll with it. With all that energy right there at the center of the chest, all that focus right there at the center of the chest. So if you're sitting in this cross-legged position, let's go ahead and just switch up the cross of the legs, balance it out a little. On the inhale, I want you to bring the arms up overhead. Okay, those pinky fingers spiral in. Relax the shoulders down the back. You can take the gaze upwards just ever so slightly. Few deep breaths here, breathing deep. So drawing the energy up from the earth. Perfect. On the exhale, release that right hand down towards the mat. And we're just going to take that left hand and draw that left ear down towards the left shoulder. So we're just using the weight from the hand. We're not actually pulling down. We're just going to use that weight from the hand, from our forearm, just to draw into that right side of the neck. So pointing the fingertips down towards the earth, deepening that stretch. A few deep breaths. Inhale, nice and deep, exhale. On the exhale, go ahead and release that left hand down to the mat. Inhale, bring that head back up to center. And we're going to draw that right, so that right ear comes down towards the right shoulder. So that right hand just rests on top of the head. So relax the thighs here, relax the hips. Kind of do your check-in from the base all the way up to the shoulders. Really pointing those fingertips down towards the earth, deepening that stretch on that left side. Awesome. Exhale, go ahead and release that right hand. Let's draw that chin down to the neck. So that nice tall spine, nice long spine, shoulders relaxed on the back. Begin to draw the chin down towards the chest. So really stretching out the back side of the neck here. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, let's just take the gaze towards the right. So over the right shoulder. Inhale, back to center, taking the gaze towards the left. Beautiful. Inhale, back to center. Switch the cross of the legs. Inhale, let's reach those arms up overhead. And a little breath movement here. Exhale, that right hand finds the outside of that right thigh. Or I'm sorry, left hand, the outside of the right thigh. Right hand out behind us. Inhale, nice long spine. Beautiful. Inhale, let's bring those arms back up to center. Exhale, twisting off to the left. Now that right hand comes to the outside of the left thigh. Inhaling back up to center. Exhale, let's cactus the arms. So the palms face in. We really draw the elbows as if we're trying to scrape them down the wall behind us. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, right hand comes down. Left arm comes up and over. Taking a nice side stretch. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, over towards the left. Right arm comes up and over. Inhaling up, relax the shoulders. Exhale, let's twist to the right. Inhale, center. Breath to movement here. Twisting left. Inhale, center. Exhale, cactus those arms. Really feel that engagement. Beautiful. Inhale, reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, side bend left. Really getting those flows moving. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, let's just take a twist to the right. So we bring that right arm out behind, that left arm in front, okay? Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, twist it right, okay? So we're keeping those triceps engaged now. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, go ahead and release the hands down to the thighs. A few deep breaths here. Excellent. When we're ready, we're going to go ahead and we'll just come up onto the shins. So I want you to be mindful of the knees here. If this isn't comfortable, you can stay in the seated position, but we'll come up to our shins. You can use a blanket. Feel free to even take your mat, roll your mat up and put it under the knees there. Okay, you can be on the toes or you can stay on the heels. So if you'd like to get a little bit of a stretch in the feet here, you can tuck the toes under and sit on the heels, okay? Relax the hands on the thighs, or you can rest the feet down. So this is actually a really good stretch for the arches of the feet. People with plantar fasciitis and all that, this is really good to begin to help stretch that out. Beautiful. On the inhale, let's reach those arms up, nice and tall. Exhale, we're gonna take the same. So we're gonna take that right hand down, that left arm comes up and over. So we're feeling a little bit more engagement here, a little bit more stretch in that right side or that left side. Fingertips come down to the mat if that's comfortable. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, let's take the left hand down. That right arm comes up and over. Beautiful job. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, let's twist to the right. Right arm comes out behind us. Inhale, reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, let's twist to the left. Inhale, reaching up, twisting up. Exhale, let's release those hands down to the mat. We'll take that weight off of the feet now and come on to all fours. So the same thing on all fours. Feel free to pad those knees up, okay? We don't want any knee pain here. Beautiful. So a few deep breaths here. We're going to check in with that alignment, okay? So we want to point the pointer finger towards the front of the mat, okay? So the hands kind of come off to the side a little bit here, but that encourages those forearms to spiral forward a little bit. Draw the belly button back in towards the spine. The shoulders are stacked over the wrists. A few deep breaths here. So really feeling the engagement, relax into the shoulders. And today, let's just rock back and forth on the wrists, okay? So we begin to shift forward just a little bit. We spend a lot of time at the computers, okay? We spend a lot of times working these poor wrists. We don't really exercise them too much, okay? So rocking back and forth. Now don't go to the point of pain, but just go right to the edge there where you feel a little bit of a stretch. And then we'll turn the hands to the side, okay? So the middle finger points towards the sides of the mat. We'll just rock back and forth, rock left and right. And if that feels okay to you, maybe turn the hands back towards you a little bit. So turn the hands back towards, so the fingertips point towards the knees, and just shift ever so slightly back and then forward. Just stretching into the wrists a little bit. If this isn't comfortable for you at all, just use a block and just hang out right where you're at, okay? It's a lot of pressure on the wrist, but it's an important part that we need to exercise, especially in these yoga postures. But being mindful to draw that belly button back in. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and let's just turn those wrists right around to the front. Maybe shake them out just a little bit, just a little twist there. Excellent job. On the inhale, we're going to take that right arm forward. That right arm's going to come forward just in line with that right ear. Drawing the belly button back in, being mindful the hips are stacked over the knees. Awesome. We're going to take the left foot and just tap the toes towards the mat. So straighten the left leg and take that left foot and leave the toes right there on the mat behind us. A few deep breaths here. So really feeling this long line of energy, really stretching out, reaching out, pushing that weight into the left hand. A few deep breaths here. Beautiful job. You're feeling really good today. We can begin to lift that left leg. Those left toes stay pointed down towards the mat. Beautiful. Inhale, draw that belly button in nice and tight. Really reach out, lengthen out, and exhale. Really building strength here, okay? Beginning to build strength, build that core strength. Inhaling and exhale. Beautiful job. Deep inhale. On the exhale, we're going to take that left leg and we're going to bring it out to the side of us. So that left leg comes out to the side of us. We plant both hands. We inhale, reach those arms up overhead. So come up nice and tall again. On the exhale, that left hand finds its way down the left leg. That right arm comes up and over. So really taking a nice side stretch there. Taking that gaze out underneath that right armpit if it's comfortable for you. A few deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhale. Deep inhale. So really feel that engagement right there from that right knee all the way up to those right fingertips. Really stretch it out, lengthen it out. Awesome. On the exhale, ever so gracefully, we're going to take that right hand and we're going to bring it down to the mat neck or to the right side of us here, okay? That left arm comes up and overhead. We can keep those right toes or those left toes down, or we can begin to reach that left leg up for this modified side plank, okay? So we're beginning to build strength in the inner thighs here. Those left toes stay pointed towards the front of the room. Inhaling. Take that gaze up towards left fingertips if it's comfortable for you. And exhale. Awesome job. On the inhale, I want you to take that left hand and stretch it out overhead. Exhale. Either bring that left arm down towards the left knee, or we're going to bring that left arm to connect with that left knee. Okay, so a few breath movements here. Inhale, reaching out, stretching out. Exhale, tapping that left elbow to that left knee. Inhaling out. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reaching out, stretching out. Exhale, bringing it all together. Inhaling out. Exhale. Inhale, nice fluid movements, just like you're moving through water. Exhale. Give me one more deep inhale, reach it out, stretch it out. Exhale. Let's tap that down. Beautiful. Release that left foot to the mat. Inhale, ever so gracefully, reach those arms up, really power up, okay? Beautiful. Exhale, let's stretch it out one more time. That left hand comes down, right arm comes up and over. Inhale, back up to center. Beautiful. Exhale, let's go ahead and release those hands down towards the mat. So the hands come down towards the mat. So we can leave the left toes pointing forward, or we can point the left toes out, whatever's comfortable. But we're going to begin to drop that right hip back towards the right heel, okay? So taking a nice inner thigh stretch here, and then we begin to walk the hands forward. So the torso folds over the right thigh, over the right knee, walking the hands forward, tenting the fingertips. So the tenting of the fingertips really keeps the engagement in the arms and the forearms and the triceps, and begin to bow the forehead towards the mat. A few deep breaths here. So everything is engaged, okay? The inner thighs and the left leg is engaged, the right hip, the right thigh, the core is engaged, and the arms are engaged. Another deep inhale and exhale. On the inhale, I want you to gently just walk the hands, so nice and engaged. Walk those hands together. Inhale, let's reach those arms up one more time. Take a good stretch, pinky finger spiral in. Exhale, release the hands to the mat. The left leg comes to meet the right. Let's check in with that alignment again one more time. Beautiful. Those pointer fingers are pointing towards the front of the mat. Engage the core. Left arm comes out in line with that left ear. All right? So we bring the left or the right leg out. The toes come to tap right there on the mat. Or we can begin to lift that right leg. Really feeling some engagement there. Okay, point those right toes down. Press a little bit of weight into that right hand. Breathing deep here. So be mindful to drop the right hip down. You can even take a reach back. So reach back and feel the hips to see if they're leveled off. We tend to kind of want to hike them up a little bit. Drop that right hip down. You know all this talking, you're still engaging that core. Beautiful job. Inhale. On the exhale, we're going to take that right foot and it's going to find its way next to us there. The toes are pointing forward or pointing sideways. Really engage in that inner thigh. Beautiful. Inhale. Reach those arms up overhead. So really even make the transition. So bringing it up nice and tall. Staying engaged. Exhale. That right hand finds its way down the right leg. That left arm comes up and over. Taking those fingertips up nice and strong. So feel like breathing that energy from the left knee all the way up through the left fingertips. Take that gaze out underneath the left armpit. So really draw back on the quadriceps on the right leg. Really firm those quadriceps. Beautiful job. Inhale, gently, gracefully. We're going to tip over to the left side. So that left hand is going to find its way down to the left side now. That right arm is going to come up towards the ceiling, okay? So you can come up on the left toes or you can keep them down on the mat, whatever's comfortable. We can keep the right toes down on the ground or we can begin to lift that right leg to this modified side plank. Deep inhale, really feeling that strength, feeling that energy, and exhale. Reach that left or that right arm out over the right ear, okay? Taking the side stretch nice and long. Beautiful. Exhale, drawing that right elbow to that right knee or towards that right knee. Inhale, reaching out, stretching out. Exhale, bringing it in, tapping it in. So really feel the engagement in the core here. Inhaling out. Exhale, drawing it in. Inhale, reaching out, stretching out. Draw it in. Inhaling out. Exhale, drawing it in. Inhale, reach out, stretch out. Exhale, drawing it in. Give me one more. Inhale, reach out, stretch out. Plant that right foot down. Inhale, we're going to bring those arms back up overhead one more time. Exhale, reaching that right hand down, taking the side stretch again. Beautiful job. On the exhale, let's go ahead and release those hands directly down in front of us. We'll keep that right leg right where it's at. We begin to drop that left hip back towards the left heel, if that's comfortable. You can even take a pillow and pat it up underneath that left hip here if you need to. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, begin to walk those hands forward. Okay, so crawl those hands forward, drawing the palms of the hand up off of the mat, drawing back on that right quadricep, dropping the forehead down towards the mat. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. A few deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhale. Deep inhale and exhale. On the inhale, let's begin to walk those hands in. We're going to draw ourselves up nice and tall. Reach up one more time. Awesome job. Exhale. Let's place those hands down. Bring that right knee into the left. On the inhale, let's drop that belly down. So we're going to drop the belly down. We're going to draw the heart forward. Take the gaze forward. Okay, push through the shoulders for that cow. Inhale, drawing that belly in. Okay, drawing it up towards the spine for that cow. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhaling, cow. Exhale, pushing that belly through for cat. Beautiful. Inhale, come right back to center. Exhale. Inhale, we're gonna take that right arm and we're gonna reach it up towards the ceiling, okay? So keeping the hips squared up, that right arm comes up. Exhale, let's thread it through. You're gonna relax everything down onto that right shoulder, okay? So we relax all that weight right there onto that right shoulder. A few deep breaths here. So you can take the hand, this left hand, and place it on top of the right hand and really push some weight into that right shoulder, okay? So begin to push the body open. So really checking in that the hips are still stacked over the knees. Beautiful. Exhale, let's plant that left hand down. Inhale, let's gracefully unwind everything. We're gonna reach that right arm up towards the ceiling. Awesome job. Exhale, let's release that right hand down to the left. We'll take the same on the left side now. Inhale, that left arm finds its way towards the ceiling. Exhale, reaching it through. So really engaging that core, relaxing that left shoulder down towards the mat. Taking an extra stretch, placing that right hand on top of the left, really pushing open into those shoulders. Awesome job. Exhale, let's go ahead and plant that right hand right there on the mat. Let's go ahead and unwind everything. Reach that left arm up one more time. Exhale. Let's release that left hand down towards the right. Beautiful. Inhale, we're gonna reach those arms up overhead, nice and tall. Exhale, I want you to plant the hands down on the mat. So we're gonna work a little bit of breath movement here, okay? So we're gonna kind of go through a bit of a modified sun salutation here, okay? So we've exhaled, we've planted the hands. We begin to squeeze the elbows in. We have the chaturanga arms, okay? So the elbows begin to squeeze in as if we're trying to graze the ribs, okay? So you're really grabbing a hold of the torso with the elbows, with these chaturanga arms, okay? So we begin to lower the chest and lower the chin to the mat, okay? Inhale, we straighten the legs and pull ourselves forward to our cobra position. Beautiful. Exhale, we're gonna push those hips back to our child's pose. Inhale, we're gonna gracefully reach those arms up overhead, okay? Exhale, plant the hands down towards the mat, elbows stacked over the wrists. Begin to lower down, lower the chest, the chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, push those hips back into child's pose. Inhale, let's reach up, stretch up nice and tall. Exhale, plant the hands, squeeze the elbows, chest, chin, peeling forward to cobra. You can go a little bit higher this time if you'd like. Exhale, hips push back, child's pose. All right, your breath to movement. Here we go. Inhale, reaching up nice and tall. Exhale, planting the hands, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, push those hips back, downward facing dog, releasing the lower back. Beautiful job, guys. Few deep breaths here in this child's pose. So really check in with your child's pose here. Awesome job. All right, so today we're gonna plant those hands. We're gonna tuck the toes. We're gonna begin to push the hips back for our downward facing dog, okay? So we push the hips back, all right? So before we get to straight legs, we stay here, we hang out here at this bent leg position. We begin to push the torso back onto the thighs, onto the top of the thighs, all right? So this really brings in that long spine, because the goal here is nice long spine. The tailbone points towards the ceiling. It's okay if we have to hang out here bent leg, or you can begin to straighten the legs one at a time. So being mindful that the spine stays in the position that it's in, and begin to straighten the legs. So here you can begin to pedal the legs out, walk the legs out, really stretch into the hamstrings here. Beautiful job. A few deep breaths. So pushing the weight into the thumb and the first finger of that hand. Okay, relax the shoulders, take the gaze out between the feet. The feet can be hips distance or wider apart. Awesome. Deep inhale, draw the belly button in, and exhale. Gorgeous. So today we're just going to take a slow walk with the hands. So the hands are going to walk back towards the feet, okay? So begin to walk the hands back towards the feet. Beautiful. A slight bend in the knees for our forward fold, okay? If we can, we begin to straighten the legs. We can place the block here in front of us, whatever's comfortable in this forward fold. But the goal is nice long spine. Relax the torso over the thighs if we need to. Beautiful. On the inhale, let's take the hands to the shins, to the thighs, to the knees. Take the gaze forward, pull the heart forward for our halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Beautiful. Exhale, let's fold forward over those legs again. Beautiful. Bring the hands to the shin, pull the heart forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. This time on the inhale, we're going to bring the arms out to a T, nice and tall. Engage the core, lifting up, reaching up overhead, tall mountain. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bring those hands down to heart center. Gorgeous job. So just reconnect with that breath. The feet are at hips distance apart, okay? Or the toes come, big toes come to touch. Whatever's comfortable for you here. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, let's take that right hand down the right thigh. That left arm comes up and over, taking that side stretch. Excellent. Inhale, let's bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, let's stretch to the left. A little breath movement here. Inhale, reaching those arms up overhead. Exhale, let's twist to the right. Inhale, arms up overhead. Let's twist left. Inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, bring those arms out, palms face down, hinging at the hips, folding forward. All right, so just hang out here. So draw back on the quadriceps. We're just hinging at the hips. We're bent forward, okay? So arms out to a T, really engaging the core here, really feeling some engagement. A few deep breaths here. Really firing up that core. Awesome job. On the exhale, I want you to bring the right hand. So the right hand can come down to a block. It can come down to the ground, or it can come down to the outside of the knee or the thigh. But that left arm is going to come up. So taking a twist here. All right, being mindful that the hips are squared off. Awesome. Exhale, let's go ahead and release that left hand. Okay, and this time the right hand's going to come up. So that left hand can come down to the mat or a block, and that right arm can come up. A nice standing twist here. Awesome. Exhale. Let's bring that right hand down. Forward fold over bent knees, straight legs. Inhale. Bring those hands to the shins. Halfway lift. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale. Bring those arms out nice and long. Bring them up overhead. Tall mountain. Exhale. Hands down through heart center. So we'll flow through that nice and easy. Inhale. Reaching those arms up. Exhale. Side bend right. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale up. Exhale, twist right. Inhale up. Exhale, twist left. Great job, guys. Remember, follow that breath. Inhale, reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, hinging at the hips, folding forward. We're going to hang out here halfway. We're going to release that right hand down to the mat. The left arm comes up. Exhale, left hand comes down. Right hand comes up. Exhale, right hand comes down. Beautiful forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, nice and tall. Beautiful job. Really greeting the sun. Exhale, those hands come down to heart center. Beautiful job, guys. Okay. So from here, from the top of our mat, we're just going to take that right or the left foot. We're going to step the left foot behind us. Okay, so the left foot, the knife edge of the left foot comes parallel with the back of the mat. We begin to sink into that right leg. We really begin to sink into that right leg. Okay, so the knee is stacked directly over the heel. Inhale, those arms come up to a T for that warrior two. Awesome. So sink a little bit further into that right leg, really spiraling that right thigh open. Beautiful. Inhale, we're going to exalt that warrior. Okay, so that right hand's going to come up. That left arm's going to find its way down the left thigh. Beautiful job, guys. Exhale, we're going to scoop that right arm under, and that left arm is just going to come up and over, taking a side stretch, okay? So we can keep this right arm up off the thigh, or we can place it on the thigh if we'd like to. But we are going to work a little breath movement here now that we've found the comfort in this pose, okay? Inhale, let's exalt that warrior. Exhale, scooping that right arm under, left arm up. Beautiful job. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, exalt that warrior. Exhale, just like you're moving through water, okay? Uncurl those toes. Inhale, reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, scoop it under one more time there. So really stay engaged in the core. Beautiful job. Inhale, exalt that warrior. All right. So on the exhale, we're going to take, and those hands are going to find their way down onto the mat. And we're going to spiral around and bring that left knee down. You're more than welcome to keep the left knee up if you'd like to. We're finding this low lunge position, okay? So you can hang out here. Inhale those arms up overhead. So for this crescent lunge position, okay? So the right hip draws back. Those right hands, or the hands come up overhead, okay, up on the back toes or down on the foot, whatever's comfortable, or you can be even up off that left knee, whatever's comfortable for you. Take the gaze slightly up. Few deep breaths here. Inhale. On the exhale, that left hand is going to find its way to the outside of that right thigh. Those right fingertips are just kind of point towards us, okay? So we're going to try to point those right fingertips towards that right heel. All right, taking a twist here, taking the gaze out over the right shoulder if it's comfortable for your neck. Beautiful. A few deep breaths here. Finding that twist. Awesome job. Inhale, we're going to reach up, stretch up. So bring those arms up overhead, okay, to that crescent lunge position. Exhale, release those hands down to the mat. We're going to bring that right knee back to meet the left, lowering down just like we did before, chaturanga arms, chin, chest, chin, cobra, or even up dog this time maybe. Exhale, push those hips back for child's pose. Beautiful job. We're going to take those same moves on the other side. So we're going to find ourselves back to the top of the mat again, okay? So we'll come back onto all fours. We'll tuck those toes, push back into our down dog. Beautiful job. So today from our down dog, we're going to work that left leg forward, okay? So you can really feel the engagement in the core and try and draw that left foot towards the front of the mat. As many steps as it takes, just get there nice and gracefully, nice and easy. We spiral that right heel down towards the mat. Keep that bend in the left leg. Inhale, let's cartwheel those arms open, okay? Beautiful and graceful. Opening up, so really using that core to draw ourselves up, bring those arms out to a T, warrior two on the opposite side now. A few deep breaths here. So really uncurl the toes, maybe even lift the toes here, pretend to draw them under, pretend to draw some tension. Relax the jaw. Maybe even make a little smile. Lift the left corner of the mouth, lift the right corner of the mouth. You're doing a beautiful job. Okay, spiral that left thigh open, sink a ½ inch deeper there. Beautiful. Here we go. Inhale. Let's exalt that warrior. Exhale. That left hand's going to scoop under. That right arm comes up and over the ear. Nice and graceful. Inhale. Reaching up, stretching up, exalting that warrior. Sinking into that left leg. Exhale. Bring it through, drawing it through. Beautiful. Inhale, reaching up, stretching up. Here we go. Draw it under, scoop it through. Nice and graceful. Inhale, reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, we're going to release those hands down towards the mat, okay? We're going to come onto that right knee, or we can stay up off of the right knee, but we're coming onto the right toes. Inhale, reach those arms up overhead, stretch up. Draw that left hip back to that crescent lunge position. Taking the gaze up, pinky fingers spiraling in, relax the shoulders, smile. A few deep breaths here. Awesome. On the exhale, that right hand's going to find its way to the outside of the left thigh. Those left fingertips are going to point back towards that right heel. Taking the gaze out over the left shoulder, taking the twist here. Few deep breaths. Awesome job. So let's go ahead and unwind everything. Inhale those arms up overhead, nice and tall. Exhale, release those hands down towards the mat. Bring that left knee back to meet the right. Here we go. Lowering down, so squeeze those elbows in like we're trying to graze the ribs. Lowering down, chest, chin. Inhale the cobra. Exhale this time, go ahead and release everything down towards the mat. Beautiful job. So those hands stay planted right here underneath the shoulders. So we're gonna plant those hands, fingertips facing forward, all 10 toes touching the mat. Inhale, let's peel that chest up off of the ground for this low lift cobra. Beautiful. Exhale, just go ahead and lower down, top the forehead towards the mat. Scooch the hands back maybe a couple inches there to about mid ribs. Inhale, let's peel that chest up, reach that chest up to this mid lift cobra. Beautiful job. Exhale, go ahead and release everything down. So we're going to bring the forearms towards the mat, okay? The fingertips facing forward, the forearms are towards the mat. We begin to push the hands forward as if we're trying to push the mat away from us, pulling the chest forward, okay? So this is Sphinx pose. All right, so peeling the chest up off the mat, really pushing all 10 fingers into the mat. Few deep breaths, you're gazing forward. So it's almost as if you're trying to peel the mat back with your hands and pull the hips forward, okay? So really peeling the chest up off the ground, relax the shoulders. Few deep breaths here. Beautiful job. Awesome. Exhale, let's go ahead and lower everything down towards the mat. We're going to bring the palms back just a little bit further, okay? So we're going to bring them back to the lower part of the ribs, okay? So the hands butt up right against the lower part of the ribs. Inhale, let's peel that chest up a little bit further, okay, for that high lift cobra. Beautiful job. Exhale, bring those big toes to touch, push those hips back, child's pose. Walk the hands forward, child's pose. So we're really moving through all these poses. Okay, this child's pose really releases the lower back. We went from those gentle back bends. This really releases the lower back. Awesome job. Let's go ahead and walk those hands underneath us. Walk the hands under the shoulders. We're going to push the hips up again. We'll go through that downward dog, okay? So pushing those hips up again. Beautiful job. So this time we're going to leave the hands where they are and we're going to begin to walk the feet forward. So we walk the feet forward towards the front of the mat, all right? The feet are going to come out to the outside of the mat, almost off the mat. Your toes might even come off of the mat, okay? The toes can either point out or the toes can point in. We want the toes to point in the direction that our knees point. So when we begin to lower down, we want the toes to point in the direction of the knees, okay? So we're going to come down into our Malasana squat. So for right now, we can leave the hands down, all right? And we begin to drop the hips. We begin to drop the tailbone down towards the ground. If this is too much for us, we use a pillow, we use a block to prop ourselves up on, okay? But we begin to draw the elbows into the inner part of the knees there. You can bring the hands up, so you can leave the hands down if that's comfortable for you, okay? But really just sinking the tailbone down, all right? So really shift your weight into it. You can even back yourself up against the wall here and lean back onto the wall. This is a great lower back opener. This is fantastic to reverse all of that sitting that you're doing at the desk or all the driving. Bringing the hands to heart center and really just reconnecting here. Few deep breaths in this Malasana squat. A great way to release the lower back. Awesome job. So exhale, I want you to plant the hands down onto the mat. And we're going to just lift the hips up. So we're going to come halfway up, okay? So even if we need blocks here in front of us, but we're going to lift the hips up. So we're in this squatting position, okay? We're going to inhale, we're going to reach the arms up. So the legs are still wide. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Okay, for like a 5-pointed star here. Beautiful. Exhale, I want you to bring the hands down through heart center and just sink down into that squat, okay? To the halfway. Beautiful. Inhale, let's reach those arms up overhead, palms facing in. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Squat down. Beautiful job. Really sink into it. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, really drawing that energy. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. Reach down, squat down. Do it one more time. Inhale, bring those arms up. Really drawing in the energy. Awesome job. Exhale, those hands come down through heart center. Okay, so here we go. We're going to take those hands to the left and the right knee. Okay, just above the knee. The thumbs face in. Okay. On the exhale, we're going to drop that left shoulder down towards the mat. So we're in this squatting position. That left shoulder really drops down towards the mat. We can take the gaze out towards the right. Okay, so taking a nice stretch, a nice twist across the upper back there. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, let's drop that right shoulder down. Fantastic job. A little bit of a twist there. Inhale, coming back to center. Beautiful. Inhale, reach those arms up overhead, nice and tall. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale, bring those hands down through heart center. Bring the feet together. The big toes come to touch, the heels slightly apart. Just reconnect with the breath here. So the thumbs press into the sternum. We relax the shoulders down the back. We feel that grounding connection with the earth. Awesome job. We're just going to challenge the balance here just a little bit today, okay? So we begin to shift the weight into the left leg. We shift the weight into the left leg, and we're just going to reach the right foot up off of the ground. The hands are still at heart center. If this is enough of a challenge for us, we just hang out here. You can draw that right knee in a little bit further. You can even straighten that right leg if you'd like to today. Okay, so really building strength. Draw in the belly button. The tailbone tucks down. Hands at heart center. Few deep breaths here, really just challenging that balance. Awesome job. If you're feeling really good and you've got that bent leg, you can even have those right toes just tapped right there on the ground next to you if you need to. We're going to take that left hand to the outside of the right thigh and that right hand out behind us. So you're taking a little bit of a twist here, so a balance and a twist. So kind of powering into that left leg. Beautiful job. See if you can gently exhale, release everything, come back to center. Nice and easy about the transition here. Release that right leg next to the left. Reconnect. And we'll begin to shift everything off to the right side. So nice and graceful, nice and gentle. We're going to shift everything off towards the right. That left leg, the toes can just tap right there on the ground. We begin to lift that left leg, okay? So using that core, so dropping that left hip down, using that core engagement there. Hands at heart center. Whatever feels good. So that right hand finds its way to the outside of that left thigh. That left arm comes out behind us, taking a twist. Good job, guys. A few deep breaths here. Relax the shoulders. Awesome. So gently unwind, take your time. If you fall, just come right back to it. Release that left foot down to the right. Hands at heart center, reconnecting. Inhale, those arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. All right, so right away, that right leg is going to come out behind us. Okay, that right leg is going to come out behind us. We're shortening the stance a little bit today, all right? So the heel lines up with the arch on the back foot. The knife edge of that right foot is towards the back of the mat, okay? Inhale, we're going to reach those arms out, stretch those arms out. Exhale, that left hand is going to find its way to the left thigh, to the left shin, or the inside of that left foot. That right arm's going to reach up. You can use a block here if you need to. Nice long spine. Reaching that right arm up. So taking our triangle pose, our Trikonasana. A few deep breaths here. Beautiful job. So on the inhale, I just want you to draw yourself up. So draw yourself up nice and tall here, okay? Nice and tall. So that's a big deal with this, is just using that core engagement to draw ourselves up. Bring those hands to heart center. So I just want you to shift towards, so you're gonna be shifting towards the back of the mat now. So we're gonna turn those right toes in, those left toes come out, okay? Or I'm sorry, Right toes come out, left toes come in. So you'll have the left foot at the knife edge. So we're just going to be taking the triangle pose towards the back of our mat now, okay? Inhale those arms out, reaching out, stretching out. Exhale, that right hand finds the top of the right shin, thigh, the inside of the right foot. Left arm comes up and over. So drawing that right hip back in. Few deep breaths here. Beautiful job. So nice and easy with that transition. Inhale, we're going to draw ourselves back up. That left arm draws us up nice and tall, turning back towards the front of our mat. Stepping that right foot to meet the left. Bring those hands to heart center. Gorgeous job. All right, so here we go. On the inhale, we're going to reach those hands down. Okay, we're going to sink those hips down. Bring those arms up. Okay, so sinking down into that invisible chair. Really firing up those thighs. Taking that gaze up between the fingertips if it's comfortable. Beautiful. Exhale, nice and easy. Release those hands down through heart center. We're going to come down to that comfortable seated position. So just transitioning down to that comfortable seated position. Right away, nice and tall, drawing the knees in, drawing the heels towards the hips there. Okay, sitting up nice and tall. So just use the hands to reach around the knees to draw that chest forward. Okay, nice long spine, tailbone pointing down. Beautiful. Inhale. Let's just take that right leg and lift it up today. Okay, so you can reach that right hand behind the right thigh. So nice and tall, drawing ourselves in, still nice and tall, keeping those right toes engaged. Few deep breaths here. Exhale, release that right leg down. Inhale, the left leg comes up this time, okay? So nice long spine, nice tall spine. Relax the shoulders, engage the left toes. Beautiful. Exhale, release that left leg down next to the right. Okay, so from here, we can begin to lean back and we'll begin to lift both legs if we can. If not, we'll just right on the tippy toes, okay? So we can do just left and right tippy toes right there on the mat, just shifting that weight back ever so slightly. We're feeling really good today. We can begin to lift those legs for our boat pose, okay? The hands can stay wrapped around the thighs. We begin to straighten the arms. A few deep breaths, really engaging that core. Nice long spine. Stay with it. Inhaling and exhale. The deep inhale, really nice, good stretch. Exhale, go ahead and release everything down towards the mat. Beautiful job. Excellent. All right. So we'll go ahead and lower down onto the mat with ease, with control. So exhale, just gently lowering yourselves down, one vertebrae at a time, down onto the mat. Inhale, let's take that right leg up. So that right leg comes up nice and straight. That left leg will come down towards the mat. All right, the right heel is pointing towards the ceiling, really pushing that ceiling, almost if you're trying to push the ceiling away with that right foot. Beautiful job. Inhaling and exhale. All right, so you can place the hands on the hips to keep the hips kind of ground down into the earth. You can place them on the mat next to you. We're just going to gently switch here. All right, so that right foot's going to come down and that left leg's going to gently come up. So a nice gentle switch here. Using the core, using that thigh strength. Release that right foot down to the mat. The left leg comes up and overhead. Okay. Deep inhales. And exhale. Beautiful. Let's do that again. Let's switch that out. So nice switch. Breathing the core, nice and easy. So fluid like you're moving through water. Inhale, right foot comes up. This time, exhale, let's switch right away. One more time. Inhale, bring that right leg up to meet the left. Both legs are up overhead. Excellent. Exhale, let's bend those knees, squeeze them in towards the chest. So the tailbone presses down towards the mat. The toes, all 10 toes engaged, pointing towards the ceiling. Nice squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Beautiful. So bring the arms out to a T, both shoulders press in the mat, and begin to drop the knees
towards the left. Okay, so the hips shift just ever so slightly, but try and keep both shoulder blades pressed into the earth. So where the knees kind of just come directly to hover over the mat, if that's okay, just keep both shoulder blades pressed into the earth and keep the gaze over the right hand if that's comfortable for our neck. Nice little twist here. Beautiful. Inhale, draw those knees back in towards center with control. All 10 toes pointing towards the ceiling. Exhale, let's drop them off to the right. So the knees begin to fall off to the right. Both shoulder blades pressed into the earth. Take the gaze out over the left hand if that's comfortable for you. Really starting to slow everything down. Just inhale, let's draw those knees back to center. Give them a nice good squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We'll keep that bend in the knees. We're going to reach the heels towards the ceiling. Okay, so the heels come towards the ceiling. We're going to find happy baby here. Okay, so the hands can just come to the back of the thighs, or the hands can reach up for the big toes or the outside of the foot. Okay, but we're going to begin to draw those thighs down, almost as if you're trying to draw those knees down into your armpit. Okay, so the thighs are pressing down towards the outside of the body. Okay. All right, so this is a great lower back release. You begin to push the spine down towards the mat, all right? Flatten the spine down on the mat as you're drawing the feet down, okay? So drawing those thighs down towards the earth. If you've got this, you can begin to rock back and forth, just taking a nice lower back massage. So this is a great lower back opener here, okay? If you begin to straighten the legs, so if you begin to straighten the legs, that really works into the inner thighs, okay? That inner thigh strength. My legs are shaky today, but so I put a little bit of the bend in the knee. When I do that, when I find myself stretching out, my legs are shaking, I'm putting a lot of strain on my hamstrings. I just put just a slight bend in my knees there, okay? Rocking back and forth. Looking that lower back. Beautiful job. Awesome. Inhale, let's bring those legs up overhead. Bring them up to center. With ease and control, okay? So instead of just popping it down, nice and easy. Those shoulders onto the earth, engaging the core, drawing that belly button in, lowering slowly, slowly, slowly down towards the mat. Beautiful. Exhale, just go ahead and release everything. So go ahead and take up as much space as you'd like to here, all right? So the heels can come out to the corners of the mat. Just be comfortable. The shoulders can roll back underneath the back, the palms facing up. And when everybody take a good deep inhale in through the nose, and an open mouth audible, exhale out through the mouth. Just letting everything go. So just lying here on your mat, releasing all the fantastic benefits of that practice. If you have time to take extra savasana, then do so. Just a super great space to let everything go. And relax. begin to make some movements of the wrists and the ankles. Maybe take a good stretch, arms out overhead. Stretch, stretch, stretch it out. And when you're ready, slowly rolling off onto one side, resting that ear on the arm. And I would like everybody to take a second to place a gratitude. So with everything that's going on, gratitude is one of the best ways to combat fear. It's one of the best ways to really just recenter yourself. And when you're ready, pushing yourself up to that nice, comfy, seated position. Just resting the hands gently in the lap, on the thighs. I want you to draw everything right back into center again, right back to that heart center. Reconnect with that intention. And remembering that you can come back to this space anytime throughout the day. Just come right back here. Close the eyes. Bring all that focus right to the center of the chest. And let everything just kind of float away for a minute. Joining me with the hands together and to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Our hands to the mouth to remind us to speak clear and loving words. And our hands to the heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. All this good energy we built to all beings everywhere. Namaste.